And we're back with more Nier Reincarnation. So a new chapter is upon us. And as I was saying before, this is probably going to be a little bit rough. But I think in the meantime, we still have another event that we can go through. And we'll probably have to do at least a few more of the older scenarios on hard. Which is fine. We can see more extra bits of story. But as you can see, we are no longer in the end of the cage. We are back where we left off on the last chapter. So let's take a gander here. In terms of subquests, I think it's still up. It might be too late. Ah, yeah, it's gone. There was another one that was here for the prince. I was gonna try to hold out, but I think we just started too late. We did this one previously though, and I grinded through and got the other companion, as well as the 3-star Zero. I'm a little tempted to spin again. I got Zero like right out the gate, to be honest, which felt pretty good. Ooh, and then that automatically converted too. So the rest is just the OCs for now until the next event. Ooh. Ah, so it's down here still. We could give it a shot. We got a fair amount of gems today. What's going on, Crony? I don't have a problem. He might say so, though. In the door we go! We got Carrier back, which is nice. Ooh, hello. Yeah, I can try to throw that up after this. Forbidden scrap steel arm, so we got more fist weapons. And of course it was a fucking weapon. Boo. Not that I'm not gonna use it, just, you know, character would have been a bit more preferred. That was our 3-star. Ah, the wraps. Okay. That's all she wrote for that. So friendship. Where the hell? Actually, where did I put my... I don't actually remember. Damn it, Crony. Is it in here? Transfer data information settings, yada yada. Oh, you know what I think? Hold on. I did this before and I actually don't remember. Oh no! It's in profile. Oh, my back. There we go. Normally, I feel like these are typically in the, I wonder if that's actually gonna stick. It might. Ooh, hello. Yes! Normally it's actually in the friend tab itself, so that kind of throws me for this game. But yeah, my current deck and my total force is very weak. I have not played this since the last, like, round of story, and I feel like I used to be higher. I feel like I used to be in the 60s or 70s, but like, doing the auto sort really doesn't put me that high anymore. I wonder what's up with that. There's Crony. Look at you with that 95. Rain player. Oh, just Rian. Okay. I know another person that I follow, Roxy, is right up there too. She has like an insane amount of hours in. She just logged in a couple hours ago too. But yeah, I did this for like the story part for a little bit. And then I just dropped it because I had to do literally everything else. And anything else. But that was a slog, and I'm assuming that the story here is going to be pretty rough.
We will soon reach the
See how
end of our
Gilmace is in
journey.
this 100Ks.
The day
Damn!
your wish comes true is so close now.
Man, I got the volume on that part all the way up, too. So we got a new part of the cage here. I feel like I'm not going to be anywhere near being able to do even the first part. I still need to be able to see what it's going to be like. Is that they're rushing the events right now so they can catch up to us and JP. I mean, that's pretty common for international runs, though. And, like, RS, Saga RS is a fucking whirlwind. It still kinda is, even now. With how much stuff they throw at people.
Now let's get to devouring dreams for the night, shall we? No need to worry, my hungry friend. You'll see her in 2 shakes of a scarecrow's tail.
I have a feeling that that's not gonna be the case. At least not right off the bat. Let's see, bird hunt. Hello, birds. How dare.
It seems our young miss is rather busy over in the other world.
Yeah, not with good things, I'm assuming.
Easy now. No need to rush things, Luckily for you, I already have a plan in place for just such an occasion.
Do you now? Are you gonna victimize someone else instead? I guess the assumption can be made that she was a pretty strong convenience.
Tonight, you will be restoring the young Mrs. tale of her life in the other world.
Oh god. That's gonna be peachy. I'm sure that's not going to be bleak or awful at all. Not in the slightest. Surely not. Not in a game like this.
I know, I am just ever so clever. Oh, and this is the final step in order for you to turn human. Bit of good news there, eh? I'll be waiting right here. Much luck. Ta!
So it's locked. Of course, the openers are always really low. It'll be a super happy story, right? It's gonna be a real feel-gooder. Full of sunshine and rainbows and bunnies. And it immediately opens up with her parents arguing.
A poor girl lives on the outskirts of a small town. Her mother and father have fought constantly ever since her father lost his job. When the squabbling starts, the girl leaves her home and wanders aimlessly. Her country's ruling class maintains a strict order of laws and mobility. Below nobles are the commoners, and below them are goat people.
Goat people.
By creating a class for commoners to look down,
Oh, look, a goat.
the nobles suppress dissent.
This girl is indeed the goat.
In fact, the girl's father lost his job when a commoner claimed it for his own. eventually finds herself standing in front of a magnificent building. It is the assembly hall from which the nobility rule their great democracy. If I ask real nice, maybe they'll give my daddy his old job back.
Oh, that's a good idea. Jeez.
It is the thought of a child. But as she knows no better, she enters the hall.
What do we got here? Oh there, what's this? What should I ask about? General discrimination, daddy's work. This is no place for children. Be gone. But my lord. Yes, what is it? That's why nobles are so special. I fear our budget is quite limited. We'll have to think on the matter and get back to you. Of course. What is this? Bemoan your hard life. Damn. I say, what is security even doing? There is a child in here.
They didn't listen to her. Why would they?
Who disturbs our sacred assembly? I should. Now we're gonna get attacked by giant, weird, blobby monsters. Oh.
We're fighting now?
Yeah, it's so nice. Ow. And speed it up. Big pouch. Oh, and that's as easy as it's gonna get.
The collar around her neck and manacles on her wrists are stigmas of the goats. I don't care if we're poor. I just want Mommy and Daddy to smile again. Alas, the poor girl knows nothing of the world, so she clings to this foolish wish.
So, oh, we don't even get to see what's going on back at home. Damn.
Well, what did you think of the young Mrs. Reality?
Damn. Interesting vow.
It's good to have a goal. And yes, you'll be human soon, so no
Oh,
worries there.
bird.
Oh, let's not get too caught up in details. Onward and upward is the way of it.
Alright, so let's see how bad this is actually gonna be.
The girl didn't come to the cage. That's when I realized I enjoyed collecting dreams with her. Was she in pain in her own world? Did she need help in her own world? If so, I knew what I needed to do. And at the same time,
This is our next stop. I do hope our young miss is hanging in there.
Let's see, so 75. It's not too far off from the last one, but the thing I don't get is that I was able to hit at least close to that before. With just a raw, like, auto loadout. I don't really know what the difference is now. Although it may have also just been our story-specific character putting us over. Which now, we do have a Divergent Theo, but we'd have to build her up in order for her to be particularly relevant for it. Also, what kind of element are we talking here? So we're talking dark. We do have a lot more light stuff. Still pretty scant. Let's go to enhance real quick. She's one of the lower ones that we have for this in terms of 4 stars. The other thing is that we're very much lacking in currency in some places. And because that multiplier is gone, the actual growth from doing stuff like this isn't super great anymore. So I think in terms of companions, we only really had 2 for light. And really not a lot of other resources besides. What you might end up doing for a little bit is just going through hard for some of the other stuff for the past chapters. And just call it from there. This is gonna take a lot of time. One thing that's very different from this for other gacha games that I typically play is that you're investing a lot more in the rest of the deck than you are the actual characters themselves, which is incredibly tedious. And it's funny because to a certain degree you can argue that that Nier, especially if you really get into the sub-stories, is tedium in and of itself. But I feel like it flows a lot better than this game. In the way that it does it. Because I really didn't mind that kind of grind when I was going through Replicon or Automata. But such is the nature of mobile games. Unfortunately. The other thing is that I really need better memoirs too. What's going on, Extra? love that his main one for light is actually the pipe. I think I actually boost that a little bit more too later. X Dive, I haven't actually really played it. It must have been way better if it was more active, yeah. Like they let you move, but the movement doesn't do anything. It's legit just there for you to, I guess, see the model a little bit more, and that's about it. I feel like there's a lot of little missed opportunities in this in terms of presentation, which is a little unfortunate. But yeah, I'll probably just stick around and do some, where did we leave off? For hard, I don't remember. Are these all switching? Or did hitting the interval fucking resets it, really? Okay. So Withered Crimson's where we're at. That's another thing too. Like, I'm so behind in this part that it's probably affected me up ahead since we do get certain things for finishing these. What are we talking here? So light. Okay. Actually, our typical darkness loadout's pretty weak. Unfortunately. Until I get some more specific things, I'm not really gonna bother with much other than auto. Especially since I gotta awaken and ascend some things as well. It feels like auto mode is even without auto mode on. Yeah. I think the one other thing that kind of chaps to my ass a little bit is that the actual grind mode where you can do multiples of like one session, for whatever reason they don't let you speed up. I don't know if that's something we get later on as one of those other gifts or perks for going through these at hard.
Everything in my way.
But that sure would be nice. I mean, they're bad, but they serve their purpose. I don't really care much because nothing other than the characters grows
I have
organically.
Confirmation on the target. Let's get after him.
At the cost of frames. That's an interesting trade-off. And I guess for emulation, it really wouldn't matter.
For everyone.
But yeah, unless I'm specifically having a hard time with something, I'm not going to be too conscientious because nothing on here grows with the characters. So it's not like I'm missing out on an experience for them by not running those on them. Like, if that was the case, I might actually bother.
I'll cut down everything in my way. Here I go.
So we'll probably do a couple of these and just call it for tonight.
What?
And get through this
More?
chapter and maybe the other one on hard. But it does seem pretty interesting. It's neat that we're going through Fio's story for the new stuff. It's just gonna take me a hot minute until I can like confidently get through it. And to be honest, I'm probably not gonna be asked to. Yeah, I know. But I also don't have a good enough like elemental coverage in terms of my weapons either to really fully like put those in a better setup. So even if I'm using like a 3-star one or whatever, it doesn't really matter that much. Once I get a little bit closer to my
Get these things cleaned up.
my cost again, I might get into specifics. But we're just low enough here.
I've got enough death for everyone.
Giving support.
I feel like just general power-wise, like you're right, that is bad. But it's also not good enough to put me over. Like it's not gonna make up the difference that much. I just need to straight up like grind for all that. Yeah, I know.
I'll cut down everything in my way.
Maybe this will help. What? More?
It is interesting though, because it kind of puts into perspective how spoiled I was even in RS Saga, let alone
Let's get after 'em.
Fire Emblem Heroes, and the way that they tend to do things
Not likely.
for their events and stories.
I'll cut down everything in my way.
I have visual confirmation on the target. Let's get after him.
What? More?
We won't lose.
I mean, I also know that. I get that you play this a lot, but like, chill out for a sec. Like, I know about the specific character to weapon, like, affinity thing. But like, I'm just that behind, is what I'm trying to say.
Found you.
I've got enough death for everyone.
And in general, it's kind of funny to think about because, like, when it comes to some of the auto stuff here, it's not even about bugs being a feature, it's just goofy design being a feature of the series in and of itself.
Let's get these things cleaned up.
I've got enough death for everyone.
Oh lord. Also, the implications of having flowers in this universe. I really wish we'd go into this world again at some point and just get like even more lore dumps for that, because like, considering the involvement of flowers in other parts of Drakengard and stuff, that's pretty neat to me. That might be more of a flash in the pan thing unless either of them in that couple actually gets another event. But you know, fingers crossed. I feel like we're gonna have a lot more outfits for the OCs over time. Although it will be interesting to see if and when we actually catch up with the JP and what else they're gonna introduce. Yeah, it's usually for you just trying to be a fucking stand-up comedian in my fucking chat most of the time. Or just saying really dumb things.
Found you.
I mean, I do it while laughing because I'm trying to be nice.
I have
And some of it actually is funny,
Let's
but...
get after him.
Stop it.
I don't know. If there's anything that I've learned over what, the last 2, almost 3 years, is that I really don't have that kind of energy. I really don't. I'd probably be better off if I did, but I don't. And I'm not very keen to change that either. Nah, don't worry about it. But I have noticed that kind of talk is very common, especially for people who play a lot of games like this. Like, I know the one thing that kind of turns off some streamers from even playing Genshin is that they have a lot of like meta lords and people who just like have that stuff committed to memory, right? So to them it's normal, but for people who aren't like as accustomed or who don't play it as often, to them it kind of wears on them. So it really is just a difference in like
Let's get after him.
time spent or just commitment in general. The other thing I'm gonna have to do is get her rank up too for her eventually. If anything, I should probably throw her in here since the overall cost is still low. I can just grind it though once I get money, and then I'll just do some grind bits for Fio so that she can get her rank. Is that part you actually do have to do organically, as far as I can tell.
Found you.
I have visual confirmation on the target. Let's get after him.
But yeah, I would say I'm in a situation right now, and just in terms of like the amount of time I have in the day, where I'm starting to run out
What?
for actual
More?
streaming stuff. Cause like tomorrow I definitely gotta go out and do deliveries. I gotta try to set myself like money quotas per month again. The well's not completely dry yet, but it's getting there, as it were. But I also gotta juggle at least some editing and video posting in between that too, to try to keep things up. Ooh. Just trying to look at the thing. That's pretty neat. Ooh, cool. So you actually get that. The last one that we did actually didn't have like a record or like story after the boss, which is kind of a bummer.
Morning, sleepyhead. You getting up today?
These are pretty nice, even if it's usually like just in between stuff or whatever.
The man gently places his hand on his wife's cheek as he speaks. Her skin is cool to the touch.
Nah, I'm doing freelance, and by freelance I mean just like Uber Eats, really.
Her temperature must drop while
Trying to find something more work at home-ish, but a lot of that's pretty much the equivalent of that. So I'm trying to find something that's a little bit more established or with a schedule that I can actually work around.
The woman does not so much as stir. The only sound in the room is her deep, steady breathing.
Because on top of that, we also had the fact that clan matches are still in the morning, and although we are getting newer people, some of them haven't really been in practice that much, others don't typically show up to morning matches and stuff. But I don't want that to drop off, because I have a feeling that if I drop off and others aren't comfortable with the teams, then the whole thing is just gonna fuck up, and that's gonna suck too, because we've actually placed pretty well recently.
It is the only way he knows.
But, you know,
She still
priorities.
She has been asleep for nearly 2 weeks. 10 days ago, they fought flowers in the city ruins. It was a relentless battle, and many did not see it through to come out intact on the other side. His wife's head was injured during the skirmish,
Ooh.
and though the wound is healing nicely, she remains unconscious. The doctor said it was an after effect of receiving a strong blow to the brain.
Oh, brain damage. Oof.
He also warned the man she might never regain herself. He knows he should be happy she still lives. Nonetheless, he finds himself praying. Please wake up, honey. Please. The man had already lost his son to the flowers, and now they threaten to steal his wife as well. His body shivers in fear at the prospect, the anxiety boring a hole in his heart. The flowers were taking everything from him. Everything. Hate swirls inside him as he unconsciously clenches his hands into fists. If only he could eradicate the flowers. If only he had the strength to kill them. All right. Enough of that. She's going to wake up. The man draws himself up straight, patching the hole in his heart through sheer force of will. Soon, a voice comes over the PA announcing mealtime. Even this dreary announcement, played at the same time every day, serves to take his mind from his troubles. For the first time ever, he finds the managed routines and strict rules of his lifestyle are granting him a sense of security and peace.
It's the little
I'm off
things.
to eat, honey, he whispers. Be back soon. The man makes his way to the feeding hall. It is a simple space fitted with sterile terminals, where people receive meals after scanning their IDs, as well as rows of small tables where they can eat. Right now, it is filled with prisoners who live in the man's block. They line up in neat rows, receive the same food, plop down in assigned seats, and eat silently. The prisoners are treated like animals. It is an unnerving sight. But tools for war must be properly managed.
It's also kind of wild that, like, even though it's a global threat and you would think there would be a united force against it, that there isn't, and people were just forcibly run into these.
The man looks at the empty seat beside him where his wife would typically sit. The food seems even more bland than usual this day. Suddenly, the voice of their commander rings out. Eyes on, people. Tension ripples through the prisoners. An appearance from the commander typically foreshadows a problem. We are currently recruiting testers for new equipment.
Oh boy.
Anyone who wishes to take part can apply at the terminal in their room. That is all. The message delivered, he spins on a heel and leaves. The prisoners breathe a sigh of relief. The R&D department was constantly researching weapons and other gear that might be of use against the flowers. They managed every aspect of the prisoners' equipment, right down to what they wore in their daily lives. Their clothes heightened the wearer's resistances and strength, but also allowed the commander control of their bodies and minds. Despite their ill feelings toward their garb, they all agreed the clothes had saved their lives on multiple occasions. For the man, however, the fact he is no better than a slave is something he has made peace with, for he will shoulder any burden and bear any pain to have his revenge. He will do whatever is necessary. New equipment, huh? Interesting. With more powerful weapons and equipment, they could inflict more damage on the flowers and return from battle with fewer casualties. And maybe even end the war altogether.
That's a strong maybe.
The man knows many people will apply to test the new equipment because they all share the same goal. Plus, better equipment means a better chance of survival. The man thinks it over. Though he wishes to stay at his wife's side, he knows he won't actually be able to do anything for her. So when he returns to his room, he turns on his terminal and applies to test the new equipment.
So still bleak as ever. We'll do one more of those. Also, I saw something about subjugation, but I guess it's still under maintenance. Planned end time is the 18th. So like right before the announcement pretty much. I wonder if that's gonna be in the evening too. It might actually be. I have to look at the time for that again. For what is it, Code Fairy or whatever? I always want to say project, and it's like that's not what that is. Pile of Leaves Liberator. Okay. Dark. Alright. Why is that? That's one more thing to grind, and I don't really need one more. Yeah, you know, that's true. You are not wrong about that. Eh, at least it'll be something else to do.
Let's get these things cleaned up.
I've got enough death for everyone.
It requires 2 full decks to run under sand. Yeah. Like, man, as much as I liked and still like Heroes, they definitely laid it on thick over the years with different modes and stuff too. Like, half of that shit I can barely keep up with. I do some of it though.
Found you.
I guess that's kind of the thing when every game is trying to be the only game. In a lot of respects. As long as they can take as much of your time as possible. That is the end goal.
I have visual confirmation on the target. Let's get after him.
So Theo's been pretty nice. I'm kind of a sucker for Gale though. All of them have actually been pretty neat though. And if there's anything that the Nier series is good at,
Everything in my way.
it's not only sporadic world building, but also just making characters that you can actually get behind or like.
Here I go.
Like, at the same time, I don't know if there's one that's like, I would say I necessarily hate either, really. Which is pretty good in and of itself.
How's that feel?
You know, I'm thankful for that. That's actually one that I didn't jump into. That other streamer that I mentioned earlier, Roxy, did a lot of Sino Alice beforehand, which I think is why she took to this so well. It's just that kind of routine is a bit more drilled in, I guess. But yeah, I never really checked that out. I saw the earlier crossovers and stuff they were doing. But I think around the same time that was hot, Saga was either in the process of being released or was already out. So I was doing that a lot. Used to be okay, but now it's just plain boring. Oof. Unfortunate.
I have visual confirmation on the target. Let's get after him.
Get this dude out of here. Translations are for the investor butchered? Ooh, God. You know, that is one thing I'll say. After remembering and rereading some of the translations for the old Saga Frontier games, I was actually really expecting
I'll cut down
RS
everything in my way.
RS universe to kind of be like that, but they actually did pretty well. I'm actually very surprised with how well they do on the translations for that game.
What? More?
I still think it's a bit of a shame that there isn't as much voice acting for that, but I think it's also because romancing in general, outside of some of the newer entries, probably has never really had extensive voicing at all, so sticking voices to characters now would probably just piss people off. Does make me curious though.
I'll cut down everything in my way.
Damn!
But yeah, going back to X-Dive for a second. I played the international version, and someone else that I watched, Voxandra, discovered that the JP version actually had a lot more of a generous, like, opener, essentially, when it came to, like, the gifts and things that they give you, and the amount of spins and stuff. So they actually got, like, a lot more characters right out of the gate. Which is weird that there's even, like, that stark of a difference. Especially after the international release for, like, things like Saga and stuff just relentlessly barfed out, like, login bonuses and prizes for so much as, like, breathing in that game. That's, like, a really weird contrast. In fact, it kind of makes me wonder what it was like for Gunpla Warfare, and if maybe the Breaker Mobile or the JP version might have been more generous or different. That's not something I usually keep track of between different releases like that. In gachas, it's usually the opposite. Like, the JP rates and stuff are often way worse. Interesting.
Let's get these things cleaned up.
Some of that might even be legal practice, to be honest. In this case, for Dive, I think they just dropped the ball. They're like, ah, it's Mega Man, people will pick it up anyway, it doesn't matter. But I also don't really think it would have cost them too much to just have the same amount of stuff.
I've got enough death for everyone.
Let's get the real show started.
Stop it!
Come on, you. Can get out of here with all that. Gunpla Warfare mobile game. Well, for me, it was just like my old phone is still pretty potato, and like the update times, even on emulation for the patches or like just the general updates, it takes for fucking ever. Like, I think the only other game that was that egregious with how long the downloads took was that I've played so far is Brave Exvius. It was pretty bad. But, like, compare that to this game, or even, like, Heroes or Saga. Those are pretty instantaneous. Like, they don't take that long at all. So, like, I just lost interest, right? Because I'm just... have to have that running in the background for, like, a billion years before I can even get in the fucking game.
What?
It's like...
More?
And to me, like, that should be a red flag. Like, that should be something that your team doesn't let slip, because the nature of mobile games is supposed to be that they're very touch and go. And if you can't even really do that, then, like, what's the fucking point? It's far from good, yeah. But my thing is that they came off a really bad reception for New Breaker, only to put what seems like a similar, if not worse, engine into at least a certainly, like, a kind of justifiable format with it being mobile, but that still doesn't make it okay. That still means it sucks. Like, obviously there's people who have gotten into it, and they obviously put a lot of stock into it because it's the only IP out of the recent Gundam games that even has a community manager on the international side. Like, GBO2 has an entire, like, player forum in Japan, and we don't even really have an English speaker besides the guy who runs the English Twitter, who's probably just doing some deep L shit to actually really tell us anything about what's going on with the game at any given time. I don't even think we have anyone doing translations of those Japanese-only live streams for the game. But boy, oh boy, if we don't have a whole-ass dude who goes on every other Bamco Gundam-related live stream to tell us about this fucking game and the fucking battle log and all this other shit, every fucking chance that he gets, homeboy just waddles out there.
Offering support.
They should hire Aoshi. Oh my god, at this point, yeah. He yells at the English Twitter now. Yeah, that's right. Where's my fucking Hazel? Get him! Oh my god. Hi.
I have visual confirmation on the target. Let's get after him.
Real talk. If there's ever an announcement that they're gonna get like an honest to god social media manager or like rep for one of those accounts, it is gonna be a fucking bloodbath. There is no way that like several people that we know, let alone anyone else, would not try to jump at that immediately.
Thanks.
Especially when you consider that the only other currently running IP that we have on the West End when it comes to Gundam is Mbon, which is like drowning at the bottom of the pool as a skeleton. But we have two on the horizon. It should be okay. We'll see what happens with those. Boy howdy. Also, on a side note, extra Gundam games are bad. It's true. That's right. Your games suck. Hire me anyway.
Found you.
Hey, did you put it in? Ah, there we go. I was like, you put it in the mean pit? Oh my god!
Let's get after him.
Was that Subaru the Subaru? Forza Horizon? What? Hmm?
Here I go.
In which I must say, in retort, she's a duck, am goose. Although I will say, people cutting up her voice for Untitled Goose Game after she played it was very hilarious. That was really fun. It is indeed Goose.
Offering support.
Oh god, he's got. I was like, damn, he whiffed like a motherfucker, but he's got the debuff. Oof. And darkness. Still, the tick down isn't too bad because she's being able to get in here, but this is gonna get a little ugly. Because we are getting chained right now. I believe, damn it. It's so close, but so far. There you go. There you go.
Maybe this will help.
Do. Oh, the whiffage. More whiffage. There we go. Ooh. 9S. Cutting it close. Get it. E. New stick. Slays lucid boon, which is no light. Okay. Now I wonder if this is gonna be different, or if it's gonna pick up where the other one was when she was yet human. Ah, okay. So it's gonna be different. Never mind.
This is a tale of the recent past. A tale of a time when she was still human. A tale of how flowers were born into the world.
Ooh, let's go.
You're going to grow up big and strong.
Oh no! Okay, we don't know the exact origins, but the fact that it's already in a lab is not a good sign.
A woman murmurs these words to the organic matter.
The first
growing inside
flower
the
is in
incubator.
captivity. The world is at peace.
She operates the console with a practiced hand. Holographic panels float in the air before her, displaying detailed information on the status of the matter in the incubator.
I'm watching Hazel custom video for the 19th. Oof.
The data is diverse, covering everything from humidity and temperature to the concentration of oxygen, elemental makeup of the soil, and even thermal conductivity. Each number is one piece of a delicate dance. If one fails, the others will follow. It is difficult work, but the woman feels pride at her success thus far. Once, thousands of years in the past, Earth contained what was known as nature.
Oh.
Uncountable plants and animals flourished in ecosystems across the mountains and oceans. And they did so alongside humans.
Shit, so that's how far along they are. Damn.
But due to human expansion and ecological pollution, as well as disasters and climate change wrought by nature itself, the ecology was weakened, and life began to sputter out.
Brought by nature itself, huh?
Now, the nature that once sparked plants and animals across the entire planet has been entirely lost. The woman works in a genetic research facility. It was built with the newest and best technology available, and serves as a gathering place and
This is really
laboratory
something.
for
How
the world's
trouble
most
adjusting to
prominent
it.
scholars and researchers.
Having seen this, right? Yeah, it had to be so once upon a time, though.
The woman, a leader in the field
Does any of her-
engineering, now concentrates all her efforts on the process of regenerating extinct plants and animals.
I don't think any of her other versions even have her with hair yet. I wonder if that's ever gonna happen. If they do a past version of her.
You seem extra happy today, she says to her latest experiment. So why don't we give this a go?
Oh lord.
She flips switches and presses buttons on the console.
She beep boops and
Moments
bops.
later, there is a beep, and liquid sprays into the incubator.
Oh no. I hope it's not gonna happen. I mean, they can do it for one. I'm not saying they gotta permanently bring it back, but...
That liquid is a custom-made growth accelerant that interacts directly with DNA.
You gotta see it in 3D. Witness the hair.
The moment it lands on the organic matter, a white flower springs out of the soil.
Oh lord.
Yes, cries the woman.
No, I think you mean no.
She permits herself a single fist pump. In truth, she wants to leap up and go dancing through the lab. but the fact she is under constant surveillance takes much of the fun out of such spontaneous celebrations.
Hmm.
Not to mention her embarrassing incident of long ago.
Hmm?
Brought another one back, did you? The speaker is a large, muscular man in a lab coat.
I kind of wonder if they're ever gonna... they're ever gonna expand on that.
Though his
Maybe as an
physique is
event
more
story.
appropriate for
That'd be
a
kind of funny.
soldier, he is actually a talented scientist in his own right.
Let's see, so... Yeah. I mean, either way, she looks
Says
pretty.
the woman. I thought you were sleeping. But yes, come here and take a look at this. She and the man have been married for 5 years.
Look at that Ash Ketchum. What is Hohenheim looking at this motherfucker?
They met in this very facility.
Shade that shit down.
It's pretty, murmurs the man as he bends down to get a better look at the incubator.
Give me that man's
What's
hair.
it called? I don't know. But according to the literature, they say finding one will grant your greatest wish.
Oh. Yeah.
Though the woman would be embarrassed to admit as much, this story is the reason she chose to bring the flower back.
Gendo as fuck. Could you imagine if they had art of him doing the pose too? But man, I mean, it's obvious what it resembles, but still, damn.
For she has a wish she desires above all else.
It's made a fucking mutant looter tier. Good job.
A wish to see the world filled with green.
Let alone that it
more.
resembles the flower from 3 anyway, but you know.
As she stares at the flower growing in the rich soil,
Don't
She
wish for
whispers her
dumb
wish.
things.
hoping that it might hear.
Oh, believe me, it did.
This world knows nothing but heartache and loss, and she wants to give it something good. It's the reason she studied genetic engineering in the first place.
Hmm.
And though it has been a journey of fits and starts, her plans are finally bearing fruit. Suddenly, her thoughts are interrupted by the strident howl of an alarm,
Uh-oh.
followed by a red light in the incubator.
Oh, good.
The two look inside and see the flower rapidly shriveling.
No.
No, says the woman. No, why is this happening?
Because it's going somewhere else. No.
She frantically rechecks the information on the panels. The numbers that represent the flower's nutrients are all swiftly decreasing.
Don't tell me she's gonna, like, emergency eat a bunch of shit on it and it just turns giant or some shit.
Hang on, I'm going to raise the values.
Oh.
She pumps additional nutrients into the incubator, twice the normal amount.
Oh, good.
Liquid gushes out, adjusting the concentration of oxygen and the nutrients within the soil.
Hmm.
But the flower continues to fade,
Okay.
its petals falling noiselessly onto the dirt below.
Well, shit.
Her husband looks at some of the numbers and furrows his brow. Strange. This flower is using far more energy than normal.
Now we just gotta give it more.
It's a calm observation, one made from the experience of seeing countless flora wither away in his own experiments.
Hmm.
But the woman is in no mood to hear it.
Nah.
I can't let it die, she thinks. Not now. If it dies, my wish dies with it.
Oh, God.
She doubles down and focuses on the console.
Fuck.
More liquid enters the incubator's
More.
liquid interior.
More.
Come on, she says through clenched teeth. Come on. I'm not giving up on you now. Finally, the dripping flower begins to grow again, its fallen petals regenerating before their eyes.
More liquid.
But it
Brother.
does not stop.
You think? It's not stopping, huh? Hmm.
A moment later, the flower smashes
Oh,
out of
good.
the incubator, sending tendrils and roots coiling across the floor. It almost seems to be searching for something.
A person? No.
And it
The
shows
roots.
no signs of stopping.
It's trying to find the earth. It goes painfully. I have resigned myself to just doing some hard runs, and we actually just did our second one, so I'm probably gonna be cutting off here. Because this is gonna take a second to farm. Yeah, they really are. But I'll see how far I can get in terms of grindage, and we'll come back to this. But it's been interesting to see some of those other stories. We might do more of those in between other stuff, but I think I'm gonna have to figure out another secondary game to do until SRW gets here. We'll see. I'll try to pull something up. But until then, this is goodbye to you two people. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.